Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hacky Hour. This is the final Hacky Hour of the year, and we thought we'll do something special for this one. So we're going to be doing Hacky Hour trivia. So the idea of Hacky Hour trivia is we're going to ask some questions related to all of the Hacky Hours we've had this year, maybe some questions from our blogs or docs from our page. But before we get started with trivia, I'm just going to set everyone up for success for our future Hacky Hour trivias, which we're going to keep doing in 2021. So to be successful at Trivia Hacky Hour, you need to first of all start using the alwaysAI platform. And what you need to do is make sure you've downloaded the appropriate tools to get started. And while I'm doing this, Lila will send you the link to join Hacky Hour Trivia. So all you need to do is enter in the same name you used to join Zoom with. So Lila, if you can, just go ahead and share that link to the trivia. So what you want to do to get started is go on to alwaysai.co and make sure you have signed up for the platform. So once you've signed up, you'll be navigated into your dashboard and you can go ahead and create a new project. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do an object detection and we can call this just Hacky Trivia. And then let's go ahead and create project. And I'm okay with the default model that's been added here, which is the MobileNet SSD. And what we're going to do is go ahead and configure this project. So let's go into our terminal. And I want to go into my alwaysAI directory. And once I'm in here, I want to copy this first command, because like I said, we're going to be using the MobileNet SSD model and hit enter. So we're configuring our object detection model. And I'm going to save this locally. And what I want to do here just to make sure it's working all right is AI app install. And then we will do AI app start. It's going to take a couple seconds and it looks like it's working. So what we want to do is just copy this link and paste it into an empty web browser. And as you can see, it can detect my plants, me, and it has pretty good accuracy. It can detect the sofa. And there you are. That's how you get started with alwaysAI. And you can join our Hacky Hours to learn more about alwaysAI, how to use computer vision, what you can do with computer vision, and everything of that sort. So with that said, I think we're about ready to get started with the trivia. And there's been a link posted in here. It's with AHA Slides and it's ahaslides.com/hhtrivia. So Lila, do you mind pulling up your screen and presenting the trivia?
Yes. And I've been answering a couple questions in the chat. We are doing a trivia, as Komal's mentioned. It's not a raffle, but you're going to play this trivia game, which I'm pulling up, and the winner will get a prize. We will get to all the support questions on Discord right after the trivia game, but you won't need to run alwaysAI to do the trivia. So it's not pressing at the moment, but we'll make sure we get that all set up as he posted in the chat. Okay, so let me show my screen. Okay, you guys see this okay?
Yes, we can see that all right. And okay, remember to log in with the same name you logged in with Zoom, so that way I can find your email. The winner does receive a $50 Amazon gift card, just to like help you out with holidays and a way for us to say thank you for being a part of the community. So we do need you to use the right name so we can find you and send the gift card to the right person.
Yes. Yeah. If you used a different name or something already and you can't change it, then just make sure to send us an email now with the link or something, your Zoom name and your regular name. But otherwise, please use your Zoom name. That's going to be much easier. Okay. I think, how many players do you know that we have in the Zoom session? We've got 8 players here. So I think we have a couple more maybe, or maybe there's some alwaysAI people who are abstaining.
No, there's lots of folks on here. And then I believe someone's having trouble joining. Edith, are Are you able to go on to this link over here, ahaslides.com/hhtrivia? Let me give you speaking permission, Edith. Hello, Edith?
Yes, hi.
Hey.
Um, I did sign up and I don't know what's happening.
Did you go to this link?
Yes, the
right
one
here?
from the chat. The one from the chat, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've clicked the link and put my name already, but it's not appearing in the screen.
Maybe try refreshing the screen, or maybe you have to press like a join button or something like.
Okay, let me see.
All right, and I'm going to repost the link on here just so we have
just in case.
enough people joining.
Okay,
It says get ready to play, Edith. Question one.
Yeah.
My name's not appearing on the board.
Oh yeah, do you mind refreshing your screen, Lila? Maybe it's like.
Maybe.
I have. I just do it once more again.
Because we were up to 10 players at some point.
Yes, I've done it again and it doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah,
I think it's okay. I mean, we have 10 players, 9 players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow.
I'll just try the link that you just resend, that you put in the chat.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe this is just like an aha thing where, well, now there's 11, 10, 11, 12. I think you're probably there. It might just be that it's not showing all the people on this page. It says that 13 have signed in, 12. Maybe people are leaving certain browsers.
Yeah. On your screen though, when you're sharing, Lila, it's only showing 7 out of 30.
Yeah, and it's moving around. 11. I mean, have more than 11 people signed in. Can people raise their hand if they don't see their name or they haven't signed in? Because it is showing some. I see Edith now.
Oh,
you know, maybe it's just rotating through some names or something, like shuffling them.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, raise your hand if you're not able to go in, if you're not able to log into AHA.
Yeah. And then we'll start if no one has trouble.
Okay, and then, all right, so last chance. We're going to get started in 1 minute. This is your last chance to join.
Yeah, this is the first time we're using this format, so apologies if there's any glitches. Hopefully everything will go smoothly.
It will. I'm praying to the demo gods.
Every week.
All right, Lila, let's
All right, let's do this thing. So the way it will work is I'll press start. There will be a question on the board and a countdown. And then the next slide that shows up will still have the question and Como will read it out to you. And then you have to press one of your options. And then after every question, we'll take any questions that you had about, you know, what the right answer was or not. And then it will show who got the answer most correct. And the most correct is it correct, actually correct, their correct choice? And there's only one per question we didn't do, or it's not, there's never going to be like multiple that you can select. You select one of the answers is my meaning. And the person who answers the quickest will get extra points. So if you can answer as quick as possible and the correct answer, you'll get more points than someone who clicks the correct answer, but slower. Okay, so we will start now.
Yes, let's do it.
You guys see that okay? Where is the origin of the NumPy axis 0, 0? Top left, bottom right, middle, or bottom left? 5 seconds. Okay, let's see. Let's see how people did. Okay, most people got the correct answer.
Lila, we actually can't see your screen.
You can't see it anymore?
Well, yeah, it just doesn't appear.
Oh, it did. It did kind of like time out, didn't it? That's weird. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it
Okay,
now.
you got the right answer. Does anyone, I mean, did anyone have any questions on that? Or it's not really like a why is this the correct answer? It's just, this is what it is. It's, you know, NumPy, alwaysAI, OpenCV, they all use that upper left corner instead of bottom left or maybe middle. The bottom right was a little tricky. We just threw that in there for fun.
Yeah, and okay, so really quick, Lila, before we move forward to the next question, just so everyone knows, you're going to be playing in your own browser, so you will need to navigate out of Zoom and play in your browser.
Yeah.
I think some people did have some trouble with that.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, you're playing at this link, we're playing on a different site. It's not within Zoom. On Zoom, you can see my screen. I'll show you the leaderboards. I'll show you the correct answers. But you click the button at that URL we sent you. I'm sorry if that wasn't clear.
Yeah, and if you have any questions about the question we're asking, like raise your hand and we'll go over it. For this one, for instance, this was covered in the Hacky Hour where we went over NumPy arrays, and Steve did a really good presentation about what is the origin of the NumPy axis, and it's at the top left. So, okay, we're ready for the next one.
The next question, okay. Okay, let's see. Nice, that is the current ranking. You guys are doing great.
So we do have a question here, Lila.
Yeah.
What is, that's a good question, actually. What is a NumPy axis?
Yeah, that is a good, NumPy is a library in Python or module, I guess is maybe the more correct Pythonic way of, who knows. So NumPy is a library, and they have NumPy arrays are what are typically used for like image manipulations. You know, if you're doing cutting out of images, you're actually using a NumPy array, and that's why that Hacky Hour that Steve did on NumPy arrays was so useful. And he showed you, how you can do these extra manipulations, and that's why knowing where that upper left 0, 0 is so important, because when you're looking at like a bounding box, starting X, starting Y, ending X, ending Y, you need to know what those actually mean on the coordinates, because otherwise if you're adding or subtracting values, you might be going in the wrong direction. So it's just like a grid, just like any other math grid you used. But instead of the origin being like in the center or, in the bottom left, it's up here in the upper left. That might have been reversed for you guys on Zoom, but for me, that's how it was with my fingers. So sorry if that wasn't clear. And again, all these trivia are going to be from our past Hacky Hours and our docs. So we're using these ones to get you guys engaged with our stuff and know how many good resources there are out there for you. But yeah, please ask questions if things aren't clear. We want to make sure that these are like the fundamentals that will really help you get the most out of using our platform.
Sweet. By the way, Lila, there's 2 Frank Felipes in the chat. So that they're just talking about how they're twins.
Oh,
so
what a coincidence.
There might be some issue with the leaderboard if we see 2 Franks up there.
Yeah, somebody's going to need to put like 1 or 2 or use a different name. Let's see. I don't know. There's more. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Red, let's go for question number 2.
Question number 2. You guys see this okay?
Yes.
Okay. What tool does alwaysAI's model training toolkit use to annotate model data? You can't annotate with alwaysAI, label IMG, CBAT, or supervisedly. Those are your choices. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Okay, nice. That is the correct answer. Yep, we use CVAT. And some people from, using other tools, they might have used label IMG or supervisely, but that's not what we use at alwaysAI. Any questions on that guy?
Let's see, we do. What does CVAT mean? It's the computer vision annotation tool.
Yes. Nice.
All right, Frank, it was nice to have you.
He's jumping off.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Should we go? Continue?
Yep, let's do it.
Oh, nice. Looks like AB scooched up the board a little bit. He probably answered really quick. Okay, nice. Next question is starting up. What format do you need to export your data set in for model training using alwaysAI? Cocoa, JSON, Pascal VOC, or YOLO are your options. 5 seconds. Nice.
Ooh.
Okay, this is a teensy bit tricky because Cocoa is kind of in JSON format, so I split them up. But the correct answer is Pascal VOC, which is an XML format, and that's a little tricky. We've done some annotation here on the annotation Hacky Hour, and then on Todd's, he trains the model. But if anyone is confused about that format, we can check it out on our docs. Does anyone have any questions about like the differences, or did you just kind of guess?
If it's helpful, I can post the video for the model training Hacky Hours.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Good. So yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head all the differences between Cocoa and Pascal VOC. I think Cocoa has one big file that has, and it's in JSON, and I think it has like each annotation in that file, whereas Pascal VOC has one file for each annotation, and that annotation file's name is
I have actually the pose estimation person here. So Andres, why don't you go ahead and answer the questions?
Yeah, if you update your model to human underscore pose underscore nano, and set the engine to TensorRT, that should right away give you a human pose model that's being imprinted on the Nano's GPU, which should be significantly faster than what you're seeing.
Yes.
What was that? Is that a question in our chat? Let's see. Okay, do we have any other questions? Or are we okay to go on?
Yep, let's go on.
Okay. Okay, so AB, I think is still in the lead. Not too much change, I think, from last time. But the points are pretty close here.
Yes.
Okay, question 4, starting soon. Okay, what parameter in EdgeIQ's video stream classes will enable you to play a video as real time regardless of how the model's inference time is? And these are your 2 options, or your 4 options. Play real time equals true, drop frames equals true, play real time play equals true, record real time equals true. These are a little tricky. Okay. Those are really really close. And actually, Como and I were testing it out, and we realized that they were pretty close right before. So that one's a little bad on me. I should have made them a little different. But the good news is you guys had it as close as possibly could be. So that's good, and that's true. That will enable you, if you're playing a file video stream, if you don't have access to real webcam or some other input stream, and you want to see how your application will work in real time, you can say play real time equals true, and it will drop frames if the model is inferencing too slow. And that way you'll have a more realistic idea of how it's working. Are there any questions on that guy?
Nope, no questions.
Okay.
Ooh, noob.
Oh, he must have answered that one right. That one was a tricky one on my part, guys. You can hate me for that. Okay, question 5 is starting soon. Which of the following is not an example of a finite state machine? Thermostat, traffic light, stop sign, elevator. I gave you quite a bit of time on this guy
Yeah, and we covered this last week,
last week.
so it should be fresh still.
Yeah. Okay, nice. And also, if you notice, I accidentally forgot to copy paste the answer as the question. It says stop sign right there. My bad, guys. You know, it's been a long week, a long year. It's the end of the year. And it was a little tricky. It's a little tricky. Thermostat is an example because you raise the temperature up and it reaches a certain state where, you know, not going to, it's like in a homeostasis. And then if the temperature drops, that's another event and it will go, you know, raise the temperature back up or back down. So there's kind of this like action response, whereas the stop sign versus a traffic light, a stop sign is just a sign. It will only have one state. It doesn't have any actions. It can't move to another state. It's just static. It's just a sign. You know, it could also have been like a regular sign, like, you know, I-5 sign or some other, you know, I have a hard time thinking of extra examples, but something that can't be acted on to then behave differently. A thermostat, you can act on it, you can turn the temperature up and it will behave differently. And you could turn the temperature back down and it will behave differently.
Yeah, and as a thought experiment, if you guys want to write out some other examples of things that are not a finite state machine, definitely post that in the chat, or things that you think is an example of finite state machine, post that in the chat. We'd love to hear.
Yeah, maybe there are better examples than the ones I chose. Okay, any other questions on that? Or we should move on?
Yep, let's go.
Okay, some people started to creep up there. Now we're getting a little closer. Okay, question 6 will start in 1 second. Which tool could you use to deploy or update a computer vision application onto multiple edge devices that are already in the field? Balena, CVAT, Supervisely, or iCloud? Those are your options. 5 seconds. Time's up. Okay, nice. This is a little tricky. Balena is the right answer, and we had a Hacky Hour on Balena, our friends at Balena, and they showed us how you can sign up for a Balena cloud account. You can create an image that then you can flash onto multiple edge devices, and then whenever you plug those edge devices in, it's like poof magic. They just find each other, and then anytime that original account pushes the changes, it will update the edge devices with that application change.
And it's also important to note that Balena is the tool that you can use to deploy computer vision onto devices that are already out into the field. So it's if they're already out there in production, functioning fine, and you want to add an update or change the model, you can use Balena to deploy it out onto the field.
Yeah, very cool. And iCloud was a little tricky because it sounds like something that you would deploy out there. You know, it's in the cloud and whatnot. That is actually one of our partner cameras that we'll be having a webinar up in the future. And then CVAT and Supervisely were kind of a follow-up from the annotation question. I just threw out some extra tools that are related to computer vision, but those are tools that are used for annotation. And as we said earlier, CVAT is used for annotation with alwaysAI. That's the computer vision annotation tool. Nice.
No questions on that.
No more questions?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. AB creeped up a little. Noob, still going strong.
Your real name.
Yeah. Yeah. When you can post it in the chat if you want to be known, discovered.
So we do have a question here. Well, it's not a question, but someone's asked, how do I join Hacky Hours? And these questions are really relevant to all Hacky Hours. So always coding, hacky.eventbrite.com. Join us there. You can sign up there. And then, yes, I'll share a broadcast of this Hacky Hour trivia later on.
And Como always sends a weekly invite link. You know, as soon as you sign up for alwaysAI, you should be getting emails with the account you signed up for. That she sends the link for this week, and then it has all the links to the past ones. She'll put with like a description. So, and they're always on our YouTube channel. But that link is really handy, and that email is handy. Okay.
Yeah, we have a Hacky Hour playlist on YouTube. So those of you asking about recordings of previous sessions, if you want to just study up a little bit, like if you have some time off for this winter break, definitely use this time to study up and check out our older Hacky Hours and learn about alwaysAI and get started.
Yeah. Think we are good to move on?
Yes.
Okay, next question, question 7. We're almost about halfway done. Okay, which annotation setting tracks bounding boxes through multiple frames using CVAT? Okay, so the options are old and new, box follow, interpolation track, shape, annotate, or extrapolation track. So this is like when you want that box to follow to the next frame. Okay, nice. This is the right one, and I'm sorry if that was a little too tricky. Maybe some people haven't used CVAT, but this is a little question for the people who have used CVAT. And this is something that Todd talked about in his Hacky Hour on doing his gesture model building, or the hand signs model building, and also a little bit with the package detection. He gave you some tips and tricks on how to really quickly annotate. And what he did is he used this interpolation track setting, and then he fast forwarded multiple frames and it followed, and then he just kind of adjusted it a little bit. And that saves a lot of time, because if you're just using the shape annotate, it will draw that box. But then when you click the next frame, that box won't be there anymore. And I just made up the extrapolation track in the box follow. Sorry. Do we have any other questions on that?
Nope.
Okay.
Let's see the leaderboard.
Nice. Oh, Frank might have gotten that one right. Okay, question 8. How do you manually activate the Python virtual environment, which will have all your Python packages installed? So this is that way of adding external things. And we went over it in one of the Hacky Hours a couple weeks ago, but it might have been sneaky. Nice, yes, that's it. Yeah, we probably have some Python users. So source vn bin activate. That's assuming you've named your virtual environment vn, which is what alwaysAI uses. So after you run AI app configure and then AI app install, that virtual environment is built. And if you want to tinker around with the EdgeIQ library and OpenCV, all those stuff that are included in our virtual environment, you can activate the virtual environment and then play with stuff kind of in the Python interpreter. And Python 3 is how you activate the Python 3 interpreter. So that one was a little tricky too. That's the interpreter, that's not the virtual environment. And AI Python VM does sound like it would activate the Python environment. Maybe someday we'll build it into the CLI, but probably not, because it's really easy to just do it from the command line. And AI app configure, like I said, that's the command where the first time you create a project, it tells you where you want to deploy the project and it sets it up. So, you rerun that every time you want to change, if you're deploying it on an edge device or a local computer. So that was a little tricky. But good job. A lot of people got that one right. Nice. Were there any other questions on virtual environments or that question? Cool. So let's see. Okay. Lots of people got that one right. AB is creeping up. He's going to catch you. 9. We'll start in just a second. Which of the following is not an example of an application of computer vision? So how you could use computer vision in the real world? Retail analytics, natural language processing or NLP, waste management, or home automation. So which one is not an example? 5 seconds. Okay, let's see. Nice. Yes, that is correct. Yes, and I can't remember which Hacky Hour it was, but somebody asked this question and Como described, natural language processing is not computer vision. It's how a artificial intelligence will extract meaning from like a sentence or a paragraph, multiple words, or it will generate a sentence. It's how the words are combined. In computer vision, you can use something called object context recognition, I think, OCR.
Optical, I thought it was optical character recognition.
That might be it, yeah. That's probably it. So that's parsing letters from a text. That is not natural language processing. But yeah, is there any, do you want to add anything to that one?
No, but like when we think of AI, we often think of it in like, there's like different subsets of AI. One of them is computer vision. The NLP version of it is often like very different from computer vision. So it's good to just have this as like a refresher in your brain to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe if you guys can think of other applications that we might have been better or like differences between real applications or not. Home automation, that one we've done in the Hacky Hours kind of thing with the turning on of Siri or Google, but you can also do lights, security cameras, like if you've detected an object.
Identify a package was home automation.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, waste management, like picking up trash or on a conveyor belt, identifying trash versus recycling, retail analytics, noticing when people come into a store or like certain areas are busier than other areas or whatnot. If you have other examples that you think are good, you can post them in the chat and maybe we'll include them with our Hacky Hour synopsis or something.
Yep.
Okay, we'll move on. Nice. Lots of people got that one right. Everyone's creeping up. Okay, question 10. Starting just soon. Which alwaysAI command do you use to train a model using Jupyter? These are a little tricky. AI dataset train, AI model train dash Jupyter, AI train dash Jupyter, AI dataset train dash Jupyter. So it's a little tricky. If you haven't used model training a lot. 3, 2, 1. Okay, nice. Okay. Those are the two answers that are the closest and closest to correct. So yes, the last one is correct. AI dataset train Jupyter. And if you haven't used alwaysAI training a lot, I can definitely see how AI model train Jupyter would be your next guess for sure. Any questions on that, guy?
No questions, but I just want to make a comment. I'm so happy to see so many people getting this right? Because we see them throughout the year asking questions, and then now they're like posting on the chats. I got them right.
Yes, yay! Good. See, yeah. All your hard work is paying off.
That's right. Keep coming to Hacky Hour.
Okay, nice. Let's see. Oh, nice. AB is sneaking up. Very nice. We're still got a pretty close game here.
Actually, for this one, Lila, we have a question here that says, are you able to explain by implementing these commands? So I can share the model training Hacky Hour. I don't know if we have, I don't know, Lila, do you think we have enough time to run the command?
Yeah, let's do it at the end.
Okay, cool.
Just so we make sure that people get through their quiz, but I think we will have enough time. And that way I can also bring up the terminal and I'll have to like navigate to the spot where I have some dummy data sets. But yes, that's a good one. If we have time, we'll definitely go over that.
Look at this. AB has overcome Noob.
Yes, yes.
On leaderboard.
We've got a real competition now. Nice. Okay, question 11. There's only a few more. What types of models can you train using alwaysAI? Okay, object detection, semantic segmentation, pose estimation, image classification, all of the above. 3, 2, 1. Okay, nice. That's close, but it's object detection. You can use all of these models with alwaysAI, and you can upload models to our catalog if you have certain model files that you have, you've already from an external site. But as far as training right now, you can just train object detection models. Any questions there?
Yeah, there's a question that says, is today Hacky Hour? Yes, today is a Hacky Hour.
Yes.
It's actually a Hacky Hour trivia today. Thanks for asking that.
Okay, nice. Okay, nice. Oh, we can see a couple people moved up. AB, I think, is one of the two that got that one right. Question 12. What hardware should you use to calculate depth? Spatial AI. Okay, depth cameras like the RealSense, the NVIDIA Jetson Nano, a Raspberry Pi, or the iCloud camera. There's probably a couple. Okay, nice. Yes. The first answer is correct. Depth cameras like the RealSense. You can also use the OAK-D, which we're going to support. There may be other ones, but yes, the iCloud camera is not a depth camera. And the NVIDIA Jetson Nano, you can definitely use with alwaysAI, and you could probably do some sort of finagling. We did like hard coding certain parameters. Like if you know certain objects are definitely certain sizes, you can make up how far things are, but you can't actually use real in like depth data. It's not the same. It's guesswork. It's it could be good guesswork, but it's not really real. So the NVIDIA Jetson Nano you can use with alwaysAI, but it's not a depth camera and it doesn't do depth out of the box. That's not its purpose. So it's like a Raspberry Pi or a computer. It's not a camera. Okay, should we move on?
Yes.
Okay, nice. Lots of people got that correct. Question 13. What portion of the image does semantic segmentation assign labels to? The entire image, a range of pixels, every single pixel, or it does not assign labels? Those are your options. Okay, nice. Yes, every single pixel has some label assigned to it. And that was in our semantic segmentation virtual green screen Hacky Hour. So image classification assigns one label to the entire image. Object detection will assign in that box, like that bounding box, that's a range of pixels. And maybe I should have found a different way to say that, but that's the way I chose to frame it. Then every pixel for semantic segmentation, and the last one was just, to fill in the space. Ran out of options.
The honesty here, though.
I know. I just made that one up. Okay, nice. Yes, everyone kind of stayed the same, but we've got AB increasing his lead a tiny bit. Okay, 2 more questions. Last 14 will start in just a second. What edge devices are not supported on alwaysAI? And this is a little tricky. The NVIDIA NX Xavier, the NVIDIA AGX Xavier, the Raspberry Pi, or production camera like NCC Night. Which one is not supported? 5 seconds. Okay, nice. Actually, NCC Night is supported. That's the iCloud camera, and that's a little tricky. I know, I'm sorry. The NVIDIA devices are so similar, but we do have questions about which one is which, and so you can use the NX. You cannot use the AGX. So 2 of you guys got that, and that is a little tricky. If you haven't dug around on our supported devices, or if you haven't checked out Discord or asked which devices are which, but we have been promoting iCloud and the NCC Night a little bit, so I think that one is a reasonable one to put up there, but sorry if that was a little tricky. And the Raspberry Pi you can definitely use with alwaysAI. That one's one of our staples.
And that's as of today, right? Like we might support NVIDIA AGX Xavier.
Yeah. I'm not sure what goes into that. We could ask, Tyga or Eric or Steve how likely that is. But as of now, no. And if you go in our docs and search supported devices, there is a list of all the supported devices and which image or which OS is supported. So, so I felt like that was fair game. It was a little tricky though. Sorry about that. Okay, let's see. Oh, I think the AB was the one that got that. His points increased. Nice job. Nice job. Okay, well, last question, guys. And thank you so much for playing. How do you add Python dependencies to your application? Adding them to requirements.txt, adding them to the Docker file. You can't add Python dependencies, or using npm install. Those are your options. 5 seconds. Nice. Yes, very nice. That is exactly how you add Python dependencies. So those are those external libraries, and we already include OpenCV as one of them. That was kind of like a little teaser that we gave you a few questions back when we were talking about the virtual environment. EdgeIQ is also technically a library, but of course we're going to add that one. So we add some in automatically, but if you want to add other ones like GPIO0 for interacting with the Pi, or
Hey, Lila, you
yes?
can add a run command and install a Python library using
You
the
could.
pip through
You
the
could.
Docker file. So I don't know on that one.
That's
I mean,
true.
you're lucky you got 0 on that one, because I think, you know, that would have.
But technically, that's not what we suggest on our docs. Our docs say you should use the requirements.txt and you should just use the Docker file for system dependencies. So I thought that that would be fair game. But you're right. You could say run pip install requirements.txt. That's true. And
Yeah,
you're right. I did get off easy there.
Okay, we'll let it go this time because nobody chose that one.
Nobody chose
You know,
it.
if you had a tie, we would have had that, you know.
Sudden death question.
Yeah.
We would have some sort of rock, paper, scissors, or that's true. That's technically true. You're right, Steve. That was a little tricky. But I thought, you know, this one we've kind of broadcasted it a few times in Hacky Hours that that's how you should add your modules to the requirements.txt file. So you're right though. It was not black and white answer. There's definitely some gray area there. Okay, nice. Let's see our final results.
And the winner is.
There we go. AB wins. Yes,
Congrats,
over
AB.
1,000 points. Yes, congratulations. And thank you so much, Numpy. You did really well. Your second place is definitely something to be proud of. Amy, everyone, you know, thank you so much for playing. I'm sorry if some of the answers were debatable. You can put suggestions in next time if we do a trivia Hacky Hour. We'll take those into consideration. I'll be better at making trivia.
And we'll share the leaderboard out as well. So Lila, you can send that to me and I'll share that out with.
Yes, yeah, I can export it.
But yeah, congratulations, AB. It was very well deserved. And you know, for context, for everyone else who's joined Hacky Hour, AB has been joining Hacky Hours like every single week. So we fully plan to do Hacky Hour trivia again. So if you would like a chance to win again, keep joining Hacky Hour, keep learning, keep trying things out with alwaysAI, and this will be the place where you find out, oh, I've learned so much more.
Yes.
So congrats again, AB. And then Lila, I think it would be cool to just show those Jupyter commands.
Yeah, let's do that. Let me just get situated here real quick. Just make sure I'm in the right spot. Yeah. Sorry. I didn't anticipate. Gosh. Okay. Document.
Or I can also send over that recording of model training. So
yeah,
that'd
it'd
be
probably be good to do it. Probably good to do it anyways. Let's see. I'm just making sure that I like logged in. Yeah, I need to. Like log back. Sorry. You vamped for a minute.
Sorry, what was that?
you take it for 1 minute and I'll make sure I'm like logged in and stuff.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, so there was this question that asked whether this software can be used in military programs and DoD, and it really depends on the application, I would say. So if there is a function of the application that requires analysis of an image or a video stream, then certainly yes, alwaysAI can be used for military programs. Not entirely sure what DoD is. So Andrea, if you'd like I can unmute you and we can kind of have a chat about it. What oh, let me, here you go, Andrea. You're welcome to ask your question.
Hi, can I be heard?
Yeah, hey.
Hi, I apologize, I'm on concurrent webinars, so you can hear something in the background. Yeah, I'm intrigued and I came in late, so I apologize, but of course, there's a lot of need for AI within the military space. So I just wondered, do you have a dedicated rep, a DoD individual responding to things, and are you meeting, FedRAMP approval and stuff, certifications that the Army has bolted on, as well as the joint programs have bolted on, as far as hoops to jump through in order to get the software in. So that was my question, because I'm very intrigued, although I have to keep an eye on each webinar. So thank you.
Yeah, totally. And thank you for joining. And I think that's pretty cool that you joined. And so with respect to your question, anyone can theoretically use alwaysAI. Ultimately, it's the final application that needs to go through that approval process, I imagine. With regards to having our software approved for military programs, oh, actually, Steve has some input as well. Steve, do you want to add to this?
I'm just saying we haven't gone through any qualifications. We're not on any GSA buying forms or things like that. But we love to work with groups and train groups, and if we can get a sponsor to help us through, yeah, we'd love to help the Department of Defense. So we're a startup, so we don't have we haven't done any of that type of qualifications and so forth, if that makes sense. So
headquartered in the United States?
Yes, headquartered in the United States, San Diego, California. We can throw rocks at the Defense Department, or at least maybe. Okay. They're right there.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I think you have my email from just being in the event. So I'm a Department of Defense director of a distributor of software. So if you want to get in touch with me, that'd be great. Thanks.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'll reach out to you, Andrea, and we can set something up.
Thanks.
Thanks, Steve.
Very cool.
You're welcome. I'm still on the Docker file thing.
Moving on. No, that was a fair point. Yeah, do we have any other questions? I did manage to log into alwaysAI and spin up Jupyter.
No more questions. Okay, let's see it.
Let's see it. Okay, let me just move this over here. You guys can kind of see it both. I just spun it up so I would know that everything was working. Probably every time I go to share, I almost press the leave button. I don't know if anyone else does that because they're right next to each other. That would be bad. Okay, so in case anyone wanted to know, I checked my user login and it said I was indeed not logged in. So I logged in. In case anyone ever gets an error message kind of like this, that's what that is. You need to log in. And you need to be logged in the dashboard to do dashboard stuff, but you always need to be logged in on your command line interface to do command line stuff. And sometimes people get a little confused on that. So here is the command, the infamous command, AI dataset train -- Jupyter. I didn't provide a data set or anything. You don't need to do that anymore. It just makes up a funny name if you don't provide one with -- name. So then you see some of the startup stuff. These are the default dimensions and the default train validation ratio. And then it will bring up this URL. So I've done that. I'm on the URL. You have to, it will open up to this notebook. If it doesn't, you just click on the notebook and then you click run, it will run. You click run again, it will run this initiation. And then you can set up an S3 bucket. There are instructions on how to do that up on our docs. Otherwise, you can upload a new data set. Oh, I already did that. Where you pick the data set you want. Then you can choose to resize it with a certain width and a height and set the train test split. And that's handy in Jupyter because it will use the same data set that has been split the same way every time. So that's kind of a cool feature, and you can give it a name. Then you can choose your training details. So we have 2 different model types now, and they have kind of like little notes next to them to give you some clues. So this one is the one that was always available. It's faster, but a little less accurate. And this one is slower and kind of more heavyweight, but higher accuracy. So you can pick for your use case what you think would be best. And then you have a few different options for size, and these are all available on the CLI, except for the dataset features, creating a dataset and doing that split. You just set that every time with training. But so these are some different sizes. It has some notes you can pick. Otherwise, it will just pick 300 by 300. Now, if you used our training in the past, you may have remembered NumSteps. It is now epics. So that's running through every image in your data set once. And batch size is how many images are considered before updating the model. Hyperparameters, I think, is the right way to phrase that. If I'm wrong, Steve can jump in and correct me. So that's dependent on your memory. We suggest, 4 is a good starting point. It should print out suggestions for you as well, based on your available RAM. Did you want to say something, Steve? No? Okay. You can jump in if you want to. Then with Jupyter, you can plot the loss, which is kind of handy. That's the training loss, and we suggest not plotting it too frequently. It will take longer to train and put a little bit more strain on your system. And then the default here is to validate. That's plotting the validation loss every epoch. That's kind of a standard practice, but you can bump that up to be every 2 epochs or 4 if you just want to kind of check in and not have such a strain on your system as well. Like the actual plotting of it takes a while. So we kind of suggest, or Todd has suggested in the past, that you use this if you want to kind of get your bearings and see what's going on. But if you're going to do large batches of training, initial training, just to get your model going, use the CLI, and then you can use this training on Jupyter feature towards the end, so you can kind of check in with the model and see how the training versus validation loss is doing. And you probably won't overfit your model. Steve Bottos has pointed out that there's a lot of checks in place in the back end that make sure that doesn't happen. But you can keep an eye on, see how, if the loss is leveling out, or if it is going up, then you would want to stop training. So I won't run it because I'll have to have a very small data set for it to finish, and we're running out of time. And also Zoom and Jupyter might put a little bit too much strain on my system. But there are other training videos out there. The Hacky Hour, you can look at that, but hopefully that gives you an idea of how you would train with alwaysAI on Jupyter.
Yeah, and if you scroll up on the chat, I've posted a link to all of our Hacky Hours. So there's a playlist you can just kind of run through one by one and hear them out and try out different features of alwaysAI. There's a question here, Lila, where why do you prefer Mac over another operating system?
I like Mac. I like Linux is also fine. I like Linux, Unix, the systems. It's very easy for me to toggle back and forth. Like the commands are very similar, so I don't have to worry. Windows Terminal and PowerShell make it a little bit easier now, but I feel like a fish out of water now whenever I try to use Windows. And I don't, ever since Windows 8, I will never forgive Windows. It drives me nuts. I don't love it. I like Macs personally, just because they're kind of dummy proof, they're easy to use. Everything's kind of baked in. I like it personally, but I'm also late to the computer science game. So maybe if you asked one of our more senior programmers, maybe Andres or Eric or Taiga, maybe they would heartily disagree, because I don't know. I don't think any of them use. I think maybe Taiga has a Mac, but I don't think any of them are Mac users. So yes, I know all the hardcore programmers use Ubuntu, but whatever.
And what's Clover?
That's something to do with the model training package. Maybe Steve knows more than I do. I haven't been in on how that's added, but it's something that's been added in part of the model training packages. I'm not positive.
Someone said
Good,
Bill Gates.
I'm unmuting. I think Clover, if I remember right, Andres is the expert on that. You should ask out to him. I think Taiga's on vacation, so you can't call out the Taiga.
Yeah, you can't ask Taiga. Yeah, you can put it on Discord. Ask me what they want to use.
I think it's an interaction between JavaScript and Python. I think that's
that makes sense. Yeah.
Is. I could be wrong on that, or Node.js, one of the two. I can do what everyone else is probably doing right now and Google it.
Yeah, that's true. I can Google it. Yeah, exactly.
But I think that's what it is.
I have wondered myself. Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Library or is
it's a package.
The dependency.
Yeah, it's a JavaScript interaction. So yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'm sure Bill Gates couldn't care less what operating system I'm using. He sleeps fine at night. Yeah, and I like Bill Gates a lot. I don't know. I have some beef with Apple. They can be annoying. It's a little annoying that everything, phones break so quickly. But I've only ever had 3 Mac computers, and none of them have actually died. They've just gotten slow. So, 3 computers in 16, 17 years, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And they all still technically work. That's pretty good. Versus my first PC died after 9 months. I'll never forgive it.
Yeah, my Mac, the first one I got was over a decade old, and I still use it sometimes. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. To each his own. That's okay.
Yeah. But yes, thank you so much, everyone, for joining Hacky Hour Trivia. Congratulations again, Avi. You'll be receiving a gift card in your emails pretty shortly.
Yes, and congratulations, second and third place, Noob and Amy. Those are good bragging rights you've earned.
I really want to know who is Noob.
Yes.
But if you are Noob, just raise your hand and then I'll know.
Yes.
But with respect to when our next Hacky Hours will be, so we're going to be closed for this Thursday and the Thursday after that, but we'll pick up right after the New Year's on the 7th of January. So join us for Always Coding Weekly Hacky Hour on January 7th. And the topic is to be determined. So I'll share that out in an email first week of January. So look out for that for sure. And if you enjoyed Hacky Hour Trivia, or if you enjoyed just learning about various computer vision related things, this is your opportunity to join us. You can ask questions. It's a very interactive forum between our engineers and our developers and our community of developers to ask questions, share what you're working on, and communicate with each other. So it's a great place for you to find a mentor. If you're working on something, it's a great place for you to communicate with other developers, find collaborators for your project. So this is the forum for that. So definitely join us. We'll be doing this again 2021. And yep, we'll see you then. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Thank you, Lila, for being so awesome and creating this.
Trivia. It was a first pass. Thanks, guys. We'll get better with it.
Yeah, we're gonna get so much better with it. We're just evolving, just like all of you guys.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Thanks,
take care, everyone.
Thanks, Komal.
Yeah, thank you. Happy holidays.